Educating and training women in peace building and storytelling.
My name is Bronagh McAtasney. I am Access and Outreach Officer for Northern Ireland Screen's Digital Film Archive.
Reflecting back, how has the Digital Film Archive been used to amplify women's stories and voices in the Women's Spaces project?
The Digital Film Archive is a great way to look back at the past and how women were portrayed in the media. So what we have found is by reflecting on those, we can see what was done to keep women in certain spaces, how they weren't elevated to have the same voices as men, and also how they were generally filmed would have set up to make sure that the viewer knew that they were a woman first and a representative second.
How can we use the arts to engage women in peace building and storytelling?
The arts are the most honest of our sectors. When you're being involved in any kind of art or filmmaking or storytelling, you're telling your honest truth. And what we find is with the mainstream media and a lot of the broadcasting stuff that we have in the archives, these are narratives designed by other people rather than the women. But by using the films to show women in their own environment, telling their own stories, that is the true image of us, our true story of us in Northern Ireland. The Digital Film Archive has thousands of pieces of films telling all kinds of stories. And here we see Mrs. Elliott from Carrickfergus. Mrs. Elliott was an elected representative on the local council, but she was also living in an estate where the rent was about to be raised. And she wasn't happy with it. So she stood with her neighbours and said, I'm not going to pay it. So she stood against the institution she'd been elected to. She's a fantastic woman. The women in our engagement love watching her. They really enjoy what she's done. But for me, the interesting thing is the setup of the film. This is from the 60s. The journalist is seen walking towards Mrs. Elliott, about to interview her, and Mrs. Elliott is cleaning her windows, which is not something that we'd expect to see a man who's been asked for his political views to be doing. He's not cleaning his house before he's interviewed. So I think looking at how the films are edited and how they're displayed tells its own story too, and that's something we talk about in our engagement.
Looking forward, what's next for the Where Are the Women workshops?
We've had a fantastic experience all over the country. We've met many amazing women and had fantastic discussions. For me, the next step is getting those women to tell their stories. An archive stagnates if it's not added to continuously. We don't want to be always looking back. We want to create things now that reflect us now. So I think a filmmaking aspect to this project will really allow the women to express themselves and for us to say to them, your view is important, you should be in the archive, is a great way to amplify their voices and to let them know that they are heard and what they're saying is going to be kept and reflected upon.